Bring the jury.
Go ahead, Sheriff.
All right.
Okay, I did not even get to get lunch. I'm hearing we have a verdict, which we do. We have a verdict. This is happening. I would say I need to play some music, but the jury is coming back in. Apparently, 1 hour and 15 minutes into this.
My understanding that you all have reached a verdict, and that verdict form is signed by the presiding judge.
Because he's the guy.
You hand that to the bailiff, and I have that now, and I'll read it. Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Duke, and Mr. Lopez, if you would please rise for the reading of the verdict. Verdict form reads as follows. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Darrin Lopez, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
Boom.
Members of the jury, if that is your individual verdict, would you please signify so by raising your right hand? Thank you all very much. You can put your hands down. Let the record reflect that all 12 members of the jury did in fact raise their right hands. You all may be seated. Is the state ready for punishment?
Stage ready, Your Honor.
Very good. You may proceed and call your first witness.
State calls for Jason Snyder.
That was verdict, and now we're into the penalty phase, which is like the trial's going to happen again.
Take the witness stand. There's a water bottle up there. Would you mind getting that out?
This court is nothing but fast.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed whenever you're ready.
He is the dance instructor. He's back.
Mr. Snyder.
Thank you.
All right, and you're the same Jason Snyder that testified in the guilt innocence portion, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to go over a few more things with you. Can you tell me how old Jamie was when he died?
He was 49 years old.
49. Okay.
Yeah.
And were there plans? They were starting to plan for his 50th birthday.
Yeah, there were plans to have his 50th birthday in the Dominican Republic. Yes.
Okay, and you were going to go with them?
Correct. I was actually supposed to be helping out with the arrangements.
Did you know Jamie's mom and dad?
I did.
What were their names?
Rita is his mother, and Jim or James Faith Sr. Is his father, who has passed away.
Okay. And does he have siblings?
He's got a sister named Lori.
Is she still here?
She is, yeah. She's I believe she lives in California.
Okay. And when did Jamie's dad die?
I believe it was April of 22.
Had you met them before personally?
I had, yes.
Where did you meet them?
I've met them at family gatherings, parties, and they used to always come down to Phoenix when I owned the dance studio in Watch Amber. At the end of the year, we'd have a end of the year recital.
Okay, so you've met them several times.
Correct.
And then, but now the dad has died, and it's just his mom.
Yes.
Okay, and
And
his
sister.
sister.
Yeah.
Okay, does the sister have children?
She's got two children. Well, young adults.
Okay, so he has a niece and a nephew.
Correct.
You've been in contact with his sister and his mom. Is that correct?
Yes.
In fact, you've kind of been the representative of the family, would you say?
I would say somewhat, yes, for sure.
I mean, you've been, and can you explain to the jury why? I mean, are they just mom and the sister just sort of devastated by this? And
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very tough for them, as you can imagine.
Almost easier for them not to be here physically. Is that correct?
Yes.
How old is the mother?
I'm not sure how old the mother is. His sister is 4 years older than Jamie.
So she's in her 50s.
Correct.
Okay. What about? Do you also know a Jeremy Gebler?
I do.
Okay. You know him from Phoenix?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And you actually know who you met him?
Yeah. Been at gatherings with them, parties. His son and my son are about the same age. His son's just a little bit younger, but involved in baseball. So yeah, we know each other fairly well.
Okay. And Jeremy also, did you speak to him after the murder?
Yeah, not immediately after murder. Yeah, but we've been in contact since, and same thing with Jeremy. He's did really, it has been very tough for him.
In fact, he was traumatized after finding out how his name was being thrown about.
Yeah, especially that. Yeah.
Flu, obviously. So it's been tough for Jamie's family, and you've become sort of the spokesperson.
Yeah.
Oh, in a way.
In a way.
Okay. Where did you meet Lori, the sister?
I met her, so we had flown, my wife at the time had flown down to Dallas the day after Jamie was murdered. And Jamie's sister, his mother and father were down there probably around the same day that I got there.
Okay, so they came down immediately after his murder as well? Correct. Okay. Was that the first time you had met Lori?
First time I had met Lori.
Okay. Did you see her again afterwards?
Yeah, I saw her at the memorial in Phoenix at the American Airlines facility.
Okay, so American Airlines did a memorial for him out in Phoenix?
Yes.
And at their AA?
Yeah, it might have been like a training center or something. It was a big room that they had. You know, it could fit a lot of people in there, and that's where it was.
Was some of his work people there?
Yeah, several of his work. A lot of his work people were there. A lot of Jennifer's old coworkers, friends, family. Yeah, a lot of people there.
Ed Weber, was he there?
Ed was there.
And who was Ed to Jamie?
Ed was Jamie's boss at the time of his death.
Okay, and Ed was supposed to be here for this, but he's just had surgery. Is that correct?
Correct.
Just coming out of surgery.
Yep.
He was Jamie's direct boss.
Yes.
Okay. And Jamie had a lot of coworkers. Tons of coworkers at American Airlines. Correct?
That's correct.
Had a really good relationship with them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they all loved him.
Okay. And about how many employees did he supervise?
If I remember correctly, I believe it was about 50 or so in Phoenix, and I believe when he got his promotion, and the main reason why he moved to Dallas was I think he oversaw about 300 employees out here in Dallas.
Okay. Okay. And what did Jamie like? I mean, you saw that Easter video that played during Guilt Innocence, correct?
Correct.
You were in here?
Yes.
Okay. And in that video, you see James in it, and Jennifer has the camera, and there's James. And there's a bunch of kids in there. Right. Do you recall that? Okay.
I do.
Do you have any idea who those kids are?
I believe some, if not all of them, were like neighbor kids. I think Jamie's neighbor in Dallas would foster kids, and I think that a lot of those kids were, from next door or, within the neighborhood for sure.
Okay. And that was common for Jennifer and Jamie to host the neighborhood kids, right?
Yeah, they've always had an open door to, be giving and just, have gatherings. Yeah, they've always kind of been like that.
And you guys would all get together a lot, especially when y'all were all in Phoenix. Is that correct?
Yeah, we get together for holidays, special occasions, birthdays, Halloween. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. I'll pass the witness.
They are so fast on these witnesses. No questions. Boom. He's done.
Sir, you may stand down. You're excused from any further service.
I'm going to have to double check your home. That's okay?
That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
She's going to check and see if another witness is here. This penalty phase might look a lot like the original trial. So you guys might be saying, why are we going back through this? That first witness was a dance teacher. He teaches children's dance.
Sure.
So yeah, the defendant looks devastated. He's trying to shrug it off here as much as you can when you just got found guilty of murder. But huge thing. Victim statements sort of fall in here. This is going to be, for the penalty phase, this is, they get to hear evidence to determine what the penalty should be, because not every crime has just a single fixed penalty. It's not like if you steal a $10 bill, you go to jail for 3 days. It's not like that. There's a range that can be sentenced.
I understand that lunch is quickly on the way. So we are going to break for lunch. Now that you all have rendered a verdict, we're going to go back into trial mode, so to speak. You're not allowed to discuss this case or evidence that you might have heard. From this point forward, please don't do any independent research on this case. Don't do anything that might jeopardize the sterile environment that you all have worked so hard to keep and maintain throughout this process.
Maintain
Enjoy your
sneeze
food.
guards.
We'll be back in the jury room at 12:45. All rise for the jurors. Court's in recess.
Yes, we did see the just a little reassuring shoulder squeeze from his attorney on the defendant's shoulder, and a little nod, sort of like, "Are you okay?" Yes, he clearly is upset, but so yeah, so we're straight to penalty phase. Now we get a lunch. Now we get the lunch. It's going to be part 3 of this. Wow, I'm not sure why we kicked straight off into penalty phase. The judge wastes no time. I mean, why not just schedule lunch after the verdict and then come back with penalty phase? But instead, we do 5 minutes of penalty phase and then lunch. So, who determines the penalty? The same jury. The same jury is sitting there on the in the panel, and they now listen to virtually the same evidence for a different purpose, to see in the range of appropriate penalties which one they feel is appropriate. Very efficient court. You guys do it differently down there in Texas, Caitlin. Early lunch, as the witness wasn't there, but I expect the witnesses to be fast. If you followed this trial, day 1, we had opening statements and like 10 witnesses. The whole trial has been quick like that. Even some of the experts were very, very quick. There was no counter evidence provided. Or cross-examination provided of this particular witness, the family friend, dance instructor. So we'll probably have that several more times. There will be a point when defense is going to present their own evidence, and it will mirror what we heard during the trial. It's going to strongly lean on his service in the military, his clean criminal record to this point. This is the first offense. His military commendations. His medical injuries, the military service related injuries, and just his life situation, the people who had passed away around him, what was happening, and how Jennifer played him with these letters. So we're going to hear that again. Hopefully this evidence is more smut free. Greeners, I agree. I don't know what benefit the state would have now that they've basically proved that he was guilty. What benefit is it to show that material? I can't see it, personally. Well, back to finish frying my hamburgers. One side's done. One side's burnt. The other side's raw, so you need to flip them. Jennifer, Dr. Jennifer, if you feel sorry for him, think if somebody on the jury feels sorry for him as well, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong to do that. You're very much entitled to that, as are the jurors. This is what this part of this penalty phase is for, where you can say, yeah, I do feel sorry for him. The situation he was in is different than just someone who just randomly committed murder. This wasn't a cold-blooded killing. This was somebody who arguably thought he was doing right. So even though he committed a crime, yes, he's guilty of murder. Now we can look at the penalty, and I would suggest that even though he's guilty here, they may come back with a very, very light sentence. Almost a token sentence. We'll see. I don't see him throwing the book at him. If they do, it would be an indication that they believe nothing from the defense, that they completely discarded everything the defense has said. I don't think this is a death penalty case. Let's see. I mean, Texas has it, and it's first. It was murder. He was so. Yes, I think. I might need somebody to explain. Somebody from Texas. Is the death penalty on the table here? They have not mentioned it. Did they really dust the red button? And Auntie Candy, yes. As soon as I broke for lunch, they came up and wiped off the red button. Especially where I had said it triggered my OCD. Amber, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I've been better, but I wanted to answer your question real quick. Mm-hmm. So, looking into this, they originally were going to go capital felony, but they changed it down to first-degree felony. So, no, it is not a death penalty case.
So the worst, life without parole is the most serious penalty now that he could face.
Correct. So it's bifurcated in the fact of the jury's going to recommend whether or not he's allowed parole or not. I'm reading from the Texas Penal Code. For division for life or imprisonment in institutional division for not more than 99 years or less than 5 years, with the exception of aggravated sexual assault, which adds 25-year minimum punishment. I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to you so you can look at it.
So are you saying there's a minimum mandatory on this one?
From how this reads, yeah.
And that would be 20 years?
Hang on.
People are like, is this the verdict? Yes. The verdict came back very fast. As soon as we broke for lunch, basically the red light came on, and or they came and dusted the red light, and the jury had a verdict. At 1 hour, 15 minutes of deliberation, they were done. I think they basically read through the paperwork, chose a foreman, voted, and they were all on the same page, and they came back with a guilty. And then immediately we start the penalty phase, which is where the same jury, those same people who have determined that he's guilty, are going to listen to some of the same evidence in the same court setting, with the adversarial setting, with the prosecution, examining, and the cross-examination. They're going to go through some of the same stuff, and then determine just how severe the penalty would be. And the law spells out some things, and Amber's talking about that right now. Let's see. Amber just sent me the attachment. Let me pull this up. Amber, I gotcha. Let's see. Okay,
And it should be page 3.
Page 3 of the Texas Penal Code. I'm reading on the burner phone, which is not the most user-friendly device.
Well, I sent it to you in Messenger.
I know.
So you could pull it up on
my computer, but that would be too easy. Okay, page 3. So we're looking at first-degree felony, imprisonment for. So the penal code, what the first-degree felony of murder can carry is imprisonment for the institutional division for life. So basically, life in prison, or not more than 99 years or less than 5 years, with the exception of aggravated assault, which adds 25-year minimum. So 5-year would be minimum then. In addition to imprisonment, may receive a fine not to exceed $10,000. So the part that would address the minimum would be a possible outcome of imprisonment in the institutional division for not more than 99 years or less than 5 years. So nothing less than 5 years is allowed, and they can't go over 99 unless they go with life.
right.
But if it were aggravated sexual assault, it would add a 25-year minimum punishment if a victim's younger than 6 or younger than 14 and the offense contained threats of serious bodily injury or death and the use of a deadly weapon. So that doesn't apply in this case. There was no SA involved with Darrin. So they're looking at a scope of a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 99, or maximum of life without parole. Mary's saying, I think 20 years. Am I reading this wrong?
I don't think so.
It looks like there could be a minimum of 5. I thought it was 20, but a minimum of 5. You would also get, as Maisla says, there would be time served. His time in custody generally always counts towards the sentence. And so since he was arrested in 2021, you're basically getting 2.5 years off the sentence. So he could, in theory, at very least, be free in 2.5 years if the jury went as light as possible on this. In Texas, do you know, does the judge have the authority to throw out entirely the jury's recommendation for sentencing?
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, 5 to life is what he's facing. 5 to life without parole. Yeah, Shabusiness had us beat as far as the verdict. Hour and 15 minutes. This one took half an hour longer.
Of course. Yeah, that was nuts.
So, Mom, Grandma.
We've also got that additional fine that the judge can assign to him too. So
Up to $10,000. Up to $10,000 fine. Interesting. Mom, grandma / great grandma says, just seen it's up to life in prison, and yes, you could get as little as 5 years. So 5 to 20 isn't 20 years like a life sentence? Isn't that what they say? Life. For some reason, life means less than life. I don't know why. Why do we call it life if you can serve a life sentence and then be let out before you're dead? Should we change the petition to change the words?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Amber.
Yeah, because some of them are what, like a 20, 25 year.
Right. Let's see. Maisel says, is the $10,000 fine for carrying a weapon across state lines? That would be a federal charge. This is a district court. Darrin has not been charged federally, and he still can. Depending on how this goes, the federal government might say, hey.
Oh, no, he has been charged federally.
No, he hasn't gone through court yet. The process hasn't finished that way, right? He's charged.
Right,
he's charged with crossing
charged.
state lines with a weapon. Sorry, you're right. I completely made a mistake and said that wrong. But his day in federal court has not happened, and unfortunately, federal court is not open to the public like a lot of state courts are, or district courts. So if that does proceed, there's which it will. I mean, if he's charged, it probably will proceed. We'll just read about it in the news after the fact. We won't get to watch it.
Scroll down a little bit more on page 4, real quick.
Okay, offense grade, the enhancements.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an enhancement if he was previously convicted of 2 felonies. Then there would be an enhancement. So it's like a third strike, you're out. But that would not apply for him. A first-degree felony, if a person's on trial for a first-degree felony and it's shown the trial the person has once been convicted of a felony, he has not, so he doesn't get the 15-year add-on. If a person was over the age of 18 and is on trial for a certain aggravated sexual assault, he's not doing that, so that's not the case. I don't see any enhancements playing in on this one.
I wasn't sure if they would or not.
Yeah, since he has a clean record prior, so he even had a concealed weapons permit. That's how clean his record was. He was able to obtain a CCW in Tennessee for this. Amber needs an office with a cushy chair. Amber, thank you so much for your help on this one.
Now, because my brain is just not.
You sound tired. You sound really tired. Are you doing okay?
Well, well, the short answer is no, but yes, I'm fine.
The honest answer is no. Let me know offline if there's something.
It's just I got hit with some really overwhelming information this afternoon, so.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I won't make you share it online, but if you're willing, let me know what's going on. See if there's anything I can do to help.
No, we'll chat offline. Yeah.
Okay. Amber, thank you very much. Just get some relaxation. You've been a huge help on this one.
I will. I appreciate it and wouldn't be anywhere else.
All right. Thank you so much. Lots of kudos for you in chat as well. So thank you so much, Amber.
Alrighty.
We'll talk soon. Bye.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
I don't know the situation there, but a prayer in your heart for Amber would be appreciated right now. She's been amazing support on this channel, and she needs a little help right now. Thank you. Let's see. It's lunchtime now. For those that are just tuning in, I apologize. Are they at lunch now or deliberating penalty? Debbie, great question. They went to lunch. The verdict came back as soon as we stopped the live stream, and so they came back with the verdict. The judge read it like immediately. It took like 2 minutes from when the jury walked in to when they moved on to sentencing or to the sentencing phase. So the same jury that determined that he was guilty, and he was found guilty of murder, unanimously found guilty. It now gets to hear a lot of the same evidence and determine what penalty will be will be meted out, or what would be appropriate for him to serve as far as a penalty. Because it was guilty of murder in Texas, first-degree murder, death penalty, it's not capital, so death penalty is off the table, and it could be anything as small as 5 years, which he's already served about 2.5 years of, so 2.5 years in prison of a 5-year sentence would be all that's left, all the way up to life without parole, and it's somewhere in the middle, or anywhere in the middle, anywhere in that range the jury could come back with. So we're gonna take a lunch as they're taking lunch as well. We'll come back here. I forget what time. Did he give him a 45-minute lunch? So at 1:45. I still have to go eat breakfast. I didn't even get to get up from my chair. It was that quick, and it's always how it happens. 1:45. So we're gonna be back in about half an hour, if that works. About 1:40, and we'll pick up there as this continues. I expect it to be even faster. It could even take. Hey, little puppy's back. It could even take less than. I don't know. I think it'll stretch into Monday on the sentencing, but it's going to be fast. Hey there, Zoe. Hey, Zoe. What's up? A little pooch is here, running around my feet. I think she wants to be picked up. All right, we're going to go to lunch because we'll start the stream again. I forgot to give out the internet at the very beginning, and was it Jill? I think Jill won the internet right at the very beginning, and Jill has been trying very hard to win the internet. I think this is your first time doing it. First offense for you. Congratulations, Jill. The verdict came in and made a mess of it, so I didn't get to properly award you. Let's see, where's Jill? I'm looking for a text from her here somewhere. Jill, there you go. Thank you, Jill, for winning the internet. You were first in chat. You'll have a chance to do it again after lunch as we come back and continue the sentencing phase of this trial. We're hoping it's not too salacious and we're able to stick through it without too many audio issues. But thank you all. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again in about 40 minutes. 30 minutes or so. 30 minutes. Give us half an hour. I can eat breakfast and lunch in that time. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.